Hello everybody, we're going to be doing a parts update, and it's been a while since I've done one of these, and wow, the collection has grown. And we're going to start off with probably my biggest piece. Well, this is my biggest piece. My Otis Series 1 panel. This thing is humongous. It's missing a couple buttons. You'll see this here in the tour later. But it is awesome. It is super cool. This came out of Washington State. And it's just an overall awesome piece. Next thing we're going to move to is this. This is my second biggest piece. Yeah, second biggest piece. This lights up. However, for some reason these buttons don't light up, which is weird because, like, I don't know if it's a voltage issue or what. It's an issue that I'll resolve later. And we'll move up here. This is just my pretty regular shelf. This is one of the first things that Andrew sent me. Same for this right here. And I've had this for a while. You guys have seen the video where I wired this up. So I have to use the phone flashlight. I don't have a light in here yet in this closet. Does this work? Nope. All right. Yeah. And you see this, of course. Next thing we're going to move to is this. This is my third most recent addition, probably. It's just this square button from eBay. I paid like $40 for this thing. There's a couple more up there right now. I might buy another one. There's also a US indicator, which I'm probably going to buy. Now we're going to move on to some pretty cool stuff. This was shipped to me by Zach from Centric Elevators in Phoenix, Arizona. So a humongous shout out and thanks to Zach from Centric Elevators. You did not have to send me this stuff, and I'm so appreciative that you did. So let's get to probably the least boring, or the most boring, except it's not really boring, it's just kind of, you know, basic, I guess. We got some Otis Micro Touch buttons here. These are pretty common. Ridden quite a few of these, of course. Look at the back real quick. They're almost fully wired up. I just have to get some batteries and crap and do some other things. But yeah, this is very cool, and I'm excited to wire this up. Next thing is this Otis VR call station. It's an intermediate, and it has a key switch. Of course, a lot of my buttons have key switches, including this one. This one has a lot of key switches, but none of them have a key. This one has a key. I'm gonna put it in the right way. Pardon me. It has reset, off, on, of course, just standard fire. I'm going to wire this up to where turns both the buttons on, or this turns both the buttons on. This one has it where you press a button and it lights up, you know, and this one's just going to be where it's off. So I'm super excited to wire this up. This is just an awesome thing. Moving up, back up to the shelf. Before we move to the last and probably the biggest thing, not the biggest, but the coolest, we have these smaller individual buttons. I believe this is PTL. There's no light here, which is kind of weird. I've never seen a button like this or pressed a button like this. This thing presses very firmly, which is pretty cool. It has a very firm press. We have another, this is a monitor button. And this is just your pretty typical VR button, pretty basic looking, but it still looks nice. And this presses really nicely as well. Now this is a very unique button. I thought this was Dewhurst, but it's monitor. So this is very interesting. I did not expect this to be a monitor. I'm going to wire this up too. We have another one of these buttons. Presses similar to this one, this 4 button, except this is a door hold button. And right here we have the Otis Series 1 button. And this is from this right here. Yeah. Now it's time to move on to this came from Centric Elevators and Zach, so I'm very excited to show this to you. This sales sample. I have never seen some of these buttons before. I've only seen this one and this one. I've never even seen these two before. These two are MAD buttons on a DMG base, which I believe is just MAD buttons. But these two are EPCO, I believe, or Adams. I'm not sure. And I don't know how to wire these exactly. But these press, all of these buttons press really nicely. And that one's super nice and clicky. This one's kind of mushy. This one's clicky, and this one's kind of mushy too. And I'll show you the back real quick. These run off of 24 volts, these two. And I'm sure I could put a 3-volt LED in these two. And I'm super excited to have these. This is probably my favorite thing that I've gotten, besides my Otis panel and then my first fixtures. And I'm just super excited to wire these up and make these super cool. So yeah, that'll be it. Oh, I will say this, I have one more elevator fixture. It was given to me by Andrew, excuse me. But the thing is, I can't wire it up because the LEDs run off of 120 volts, and we like to work with low voltage, as STL Elevator says, so I can't really wire it up. So I'm going to try and put it back together, and I'll include it in the next parts tour. Alright, that'll be it. Thank you for watching.